Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it had. It's amazing actually the atmosphere in the songs that you guys make. It's got such a big atmospheric sound, and for me there was loads of like Radiohead, Portishead influences. There were two things I really like about that. First of all, I really like the bit where it kind of stops and it keeps you hanging on the edge for almost too long and then comes back in, and I thought that was brilliant. And then the second time it kind of stops for a minute and comes in with this really heavy guitar, and I was just like, oh, it's so... it just really gives you goosebumps. It's brilliant to hear. I thought it's a really great track.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. You nailed it. There is this kind of thing that we try to make. So we started, as I told you, it came out from a jam, and so I had this new big muff pedal, and suddenly I started with this big distortion, and that worked. So we keep it.
I love those pedals. Mudhoney used those, didn't they? And people like
that. Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of pedals, both of us. Yeah. Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was waiting for you both to hear.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure if you had something.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask just that the production of that song right there. It's really incredible to me how it kind of switches up for you guys, and I mean, just the different sounds you've come up with and start producing, and the change from the earlier stuff, and it's such a fuller sound, like Mike said, and I just kind of curious as like how you come up with some ideas for these songs, like what are the influences or inspirations?
Yeah, well, there are lots of inspiration. Over the years, we've been influenced by lots of stuff, and apart from the big names that we already said, there was everything coming from the Beatles to, I don't know, Ennio Morricone, Jeff Buckley, Radiohead, and The Clash, Nirvana. So it's like putting everything inside and trying to do an experiment, hoping that everything goes well in the end. So, yeah. And what is this? It's just that everything we put out a single that really is going to be out on 8th of May. What we do is just when we put out a single, it's always like that for us. Is a kind of suspension bridge between what we were before and what is going to be now. So what we are working on at the moment is different from what we did in the past, and it's different from Let's Talk. So it's kind of passage, and this song represents a passage from stylistically.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, Mo. How did you and Marta get together and start creating music? Like, how did that come about?
Oh wow! Yeah, we know we know each other since we were little kids. We used to play together since school time.
Right.
We during the years we formed different bands and music projects, and we played with other acts individually as well. So then we decided to put together all these music experiences and convey them into one project.
Right on. Well, it was just, like I said, just curiosity to me, because I mean, your guys' style is very unique to say the least. So I was just curious as to how it kind of all comes together, because it's always an interesting story, whether it's short and sweet or if it's long. It doesn't matter. There's always something that kind of stands out from it.
Yeah, every band has a different approach and has a different story. Our story is really simple, so I don't know what to tell other than we matched in a certain way. So it's really funny as first thing, doing music together, and always challenging, because both of us are not we both of us want to, research in the music. So we try every time after time, to discover new landscape and new musical worlds, to do basically something different from the past, because otherwise it's not funny for us.
No, and that makes perfect sense. I mean, you don't want to kind of stay in one kind of, we'll call it tempo, because it becomes the same thing.
It's not that we're forced to do that because,
right.
It's trendy to do new stuff. No, it's just the way it is. There is no record sales amount to match or other stuff. We're totally independent, so we're kind of free.
Well, and I'm sure that makes things a lot simpler in some cases, because you don't necessarily have anyone to answer you but yourself. So if you fall back if something comes up and you got to push things back a little bit, then it's on you, not somebody else, and that could be a little bit more reassuring.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing that I know is that we try to make sure that we step out of our comfort zone, because it's the way that challenges us to make new music.
No, fair enough. Mike?
Yeah, I'm curious as to how you. So you said that song you kind of you were jamming and you had the big muff going and kind of came up with it. How do you write songs normally? Is it like one of you brings a riff or a lyric or whatever and you kind of play with it, or is it more it comes out of a jam, or how do you kind of? I'm always curious as to how people get to a point. I really like the idea that the singles are kind of milestones that kind of represent a little bit of the past, a little bit of the future. But how do you get to the point of writing them at all? What's the process for that, if you like?
Yeah, Mike. There is no rule for us, because it would be easy if there were different, if there were a certain kind of path that you always follow and do your thing and that's it. But absolutely there is no rule in this. Sometimes it comes from a bass line, which we love a lot, because a low end is really fundamental for us, and sometimes from a guitar arpeggio or from a electronic loop that then we work on and translate into something playable live. And sometimes the approach is always do it yourself, because we used to produce our music ourselves in our studio and record and mixing everything by ourselves. And so every year we gain new skills. It's not that we're not open to engage some producer, but at the moment we did like this. So, and we love it. And sometimes when you're happy with your mix, you send it to a good mastering engineer, and that's the magic for now. But we don't exclude to work with a producer in the near future, and we have a lot of names that we want to work with.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure every band in your position and my position has a long list of. I put out, I think, recently saying we're going to record a single. Can anyone master it so it sounds like it was made at Abbey Road? That's all I say. Yes, like a tenor. But yeah, it's. I really like that. So in our band we do. Most of the stuff we record is in our own studio, and I think the big thing is it gives you the freedom to take your time. If you book time in a studio and get a producer, you have the benefits of that are you get someone else looking from the outside in, and they can kind of work with you, which is often really good, and we've done it in the past in different bands. But the downside is you whether you book a day, 2 days, a week, or whatever, you're restricted to that amount of time. Whereas if you do it in your own time and you've got the ability to do it in your own kind of home setup, songs can evolve as they go, and for us, where there's 5 of us in the band, it's we kind of almost record almost whole versions of the songs, and then the only thing we can't really do properly in our studio is with the drums. So we then go and record the drums, and then when we basically record everything again to the drums. And when we're kind of doing that, the songs often change again. And in that kind of 3-4 week period where there's often a gap or whatever, we'll be in rehearsals going, oh, actually, I think I'm going to change that bit. So my rule has always been, once it's recorded and mixed and mastered and we put it out, that's it. We don't mess with it again, and that's the point at which it stops. But I love the idea of having the ability to kind of keep working on it in your own time. I think it's really good for kind of a writing process, because like you say, you might write in different ways, but however you do it, you've got the freedom and the ability to kind of get bits down and play with them and mess them around and jiggle around a bit, which is kind of cool, isn't it? And I kind of feel like from your sound, you probably do a lot of tweaking and kind of playing around, right?
Yeah. We used to work a lot on a song, and we're not the kind of band that, as Brian know, that puts a single every month out. So we think about it, and we work and tweak everything. When we're really happy, then we send it to master, and that's it. We jump on new stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Which is great for you, but obviously disappointing for us, because we want to play a new song every week.
There's millions of lots of bands, cool, great bands around. Yeah, so.
Oh yeah, we're not short about it.
We
want to latch on to bands like yours and play all the time.
Thank you, mate.
That's it, Bonesy.
Well, right on. Well, we're going to get to the next song. This is one of their older songs. This one is called So Still. This is The Actions. Dig this.